You know, sometimes on a Friday night, you just feel alone, like you need someone. Maybe you're just hungry and want some food because food is bae, right? But then
Cooking with Kaya.
Julian.
it's not it either. Oh, and I know you're still single. So you give in to your intrusive thoughts and you put yourself out there, looking for someone else's daughter. And you know, we've all been there. These 3 apps are the longest relationship you've had for a while. And that's okay. Like I said, we've all been there. So you take a couple of pics, you realize these ain't good, your fit's off, and so you make a plan to get new clothes. You even ask one of your bros to take a few pics for you. And you're like, what do girls actually want guys to wear? Because you're just not attracting anything. And so the rabbit hole begins. See, in this very connected climate we live in, we do something very, very wrong. We've been lying to you about what you should be wearing and what women want you to wear. Even the girlies that give advice are lying to you. Well, some of them. But random internet voice, I'm not a fashion ever. I have a life and hobbies. Yeah, but how's your DMs looking? You know that shit dry. No amount of baby oil will help you with that. But I got you. If you're new here, which many of you are, my name is E and this is Exposure. Remember that, or sub so you don't have to. Alright, in order to achieve peak snack level, you have to think like a snack. Maybe your avocado and toast, or your charcuterie board, very fancy, or that pack of trail mix you forgot like 3 years ago, bro. Or do you want to be the McDonald's fries that her and her friends crave, or that slice of New York pizza, or you're just a chopped cheese sandwich? Which, there's nothing wrong with that. See, all of this nonsense about being lobster and pasta ain't real, okay? And I can guarantee it cause real baddies pick the chopped cheese every time. It's like a scenario. Every time you and her go out, she orders something she's never had and doesn't like it. Meanwhile, that cheeseburger you got is looking real tempting. So, all you gotta do is be that cheeseburger. Be the snack, okay? Alright, I'm done with this. Look, today's version advice is to look at clothes women make, in particular these next few women. This is such a 5-head move, like it basically writes itself. Like bro, all this time of you scrolling through YouTube and auto swiping on TikTok and Instagram, like your brain has built up a whole library, an archive of useless garbage, looking for references and information using the Harvard method to avoid plagiarism, because the copy and paste method everyone telling you to do ain't gonna make you pass. So now you have to drop out and explain to your parents why you didn't study. This is you, bro, in your dating life, explaining to people why you're single. It's time to look within, you know, because it can't always be other people. It just can't be. So what we're going to be doing today is looking at these female menswear designers I want you to wear as a man, so this can stop. Why take advice from someone who's trying to keep a relationship? Like the math ain't adding up. Because I don't know if you know this, but 1 + 1 is 2, right? We know this. But for you, it's 1 + 0, which is still 1, bro. Because 1 + 0 doesn't give you 2. The advice only works if you have your other one. Think about it. I'm still single because I took advice from some lady who's trying to keep her husband, but also make him look good, but not for other women.
I don't really wear cologne because my wife hates the smell of cologne.
That's suspicious.
But dude, why should I listen to you? I can't afford designers, and isn't all fashion advice the same? And women should like me for me. Yeah, if they know you long enough, but I'm not telling you to buy a designer. No one said that, but you. I said to take a look with those things that live between your nose. So why should you and I care about the work of female menswear designers, right? Wouldn't it be the same as that lady that I mentioned a few seconds ago? No, it's not. It's not the same advice, because these women want you to actually look good. They want you to explore your style, right? Right now I'm showing you different looks from different designers and brands, so you can understand the picture I'm trying to convey to you. So let's get started. In no particular order, Studio Nicholson. Right out of the gate, it's got everything: white pants, white shirt, muted and bright colors. Okay, look, in all seriousness, Studio Nicholson was founded in 2010 by Nicholson Wakeman. If you're consumed by fabric, you'd know where she's getting her inspiration from, largely taking from 90s Japan and other disciplines from Japan. But what she's offering you is a modular wardrobe in this Japanese city boy aesthetic, which is funny because it just screams this. You don't get it, do you? It's aesthetic inception. City boy styles are derived from Western industrial clothing styles mixed with Japanese sensibilities. These come in the form of garment size, pairing and styling, and color use, as well as contrast. Moving on, Sakai. Chitose Abe has remained one of the best women to design for both male and female audiences, but quite frankly, the reason so many people aren't rah-rah about Sakai, except for MFers, is because Sakai is expensive down to the collabs, and the aftermarket prices don't help either. But there's a lot to learn from Sakai in terms of layering and seeking style inspo in your style if your style hovers between utility, sports, and city boy styles. Moreover, Abe created her brand as a way to offer both men and women who are a lot more older, hence the very high price point, because a lot of these people have high paying jobs. They are at the senior level of their career, so they can shell out extra money to wear what they wore at a much younger age without the sacrifice. Rather, they should embrace their younger styles as their older selves, but at a level of refinement unlike before. And Sakai is largely deconstructed and asymmetrical clothing, which you can do for really cheap with secondhand clothing. Just take it to a tailor with a vision of how you want it to be. Just don't show up to your tailor and say you want an asymmetrical deconstructed jacket, because your tailor's gonna look at you like, we don't do that here. I think you're confused. Did you take your pills today, or did you smoke something? You get what I mean. Wales Bonner, the MVP of the last couple of seasons in regards to men's fashion. If you don't know who Grace is, just picture these or him. Whilst being listed as one of the best menswear designers, and don't argue with me, argue with them. Very few female designers are as tapped into the subcultures that men participate in. And because of this participation, she's able to create a collection for men that's not pushing the level of experimentation to the extremes. It's all contextual. Looks reference towards her upbringing and her heritage, with styles from both the UK and Jamaica, and many more layers of complex stories which she presents in her collections. Alawali is a men's and women's wear brand, founded by Priya Alawali, who is of Indian and Nigerian descent. That alone tells you that I'm about to make you face your fears. Oh yes, boys. For all you guys who like wearing all black, it's time to add some color.
Can we go to the annex? No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
The days of this is out. Keep that shit for the office or for when you're chilling at home. I'm tired of seeing this at the club and cafes, talking about we out here dripping. No, we ain't. We out here sheeping. This is peak clown behavior. Come here, I'm trying to help you out. And no, Alawali isn't a club brand or anything like that. I'm just trying to help you. Scenario: you and your boys pull up to the club, and every one of them is rocking the same fit with some small variation, right? You pull up with this absolute goated sweater, right? You're the group leader for that night, the captain. Your job is to get the baddies, and you already got the conversation starter. And you know, if you wear this, it's over. She's gonna try and get clothes just so she can wear it one day. Now, as the coach, I want to know if you're too weak to captain this team, because I will sub you in the playoffs. I won't even offer you a ride home. You can forget about it. Type "put me in, coach" in the comments, only for the serious players. I need to know who I'm drafting. But in all seriousness, if you want to add a little spice because you've been raw dogging it with your seasoning, out here eating salt and salt, bro. No seasoning, no pepper, no nothing. Salt on salt. That's you. Alawale is gonna give you the much needed spice you deserve in your life. Alright, let's move on. Bianca Saunders. So I think we all know who Bianca Saunders is. Her credentials and industry experts applauding her work as being a new wayfinder and steering menswear in a direction that doesn't just veer into the direction of men need to wear more skirts and dresses, but actually changing and creating pre-existing ideas of men's clothing and seeking new ways to enhance and create clothing for men that almost gives off a couture-like feel. Now look, skirts and kilts with denim pants underneath combo is fire. This is fire. Like, we can all collectively agree. But I take it upon myself to say that we know each other. This ain't flying around the homies who ain't into fashion. This is the purest form of roasting that will befall you like it's a Sunday family get together. And don't let the aunts and uncles be there because you're just being flamed alive. So that luxury of wearing skirts and dresses isn't afforded for everyone, but rock the skirt if you can. If not, don't bother. Overall, her vision of what men should wear is very well within the norm of what's already available for most men. So the ease of entry into new styles and silhouettes isn't that daunting, provided you're comfortable dressing outside of what people usually wear on a day-to-day basis. Prada, there's not much introduction needed, and it really doesn't matter what year or years of Prada's menswear you choose to look at and reference, because Prada's aim isn't to break the mold on menswear. It simply seeks new ways to recontextualize casual and formal menswear by introducing casualness to the formal side and formality to the casual side. And if you choose to look at it, the new Prada, under the guiding hand of both Miuccia Prada and Raf Simons, then you basically have both views of a woman and a man, as well as them with much more recent shows introducing Italian tailoring, more slimmer fitting clothes while still offering wider and relaxed clothing options. And continuing with our theme of co-designing, Commonwear, as the brainchild of Gizmo and his girlfriend Valerie, they co-designed the brand's collection, with a lot of the clothing being very tailored tech wear, essentially technical design mixed with tailoring. Also, I think this brand can easily fit into most men's wardrobes, especially for the weekend getaways or the classic office look sports or utility jacket with a shirt, tie and a sweater. Plus, very few brands are as open on their design choices and fabric selection and overall design process as Commonwear is. High quality zippers, articulation and advanced pattern cutting are all at the core of Commonwear. Hermes, it's not really what you would expect because this is the most expensive brand on this list, but also Hermes and clothing isn't what many would think of when hearing Hermes. We can all agree that the first thing that comes to mind in the case of Hermes is the Birkin bags, and from there it's very little else, at least for the general public. But Hermes does make clothing, and Hermes menswear for the past 36 years is creatively run by Véronique Nichanet. Her vision for Hermes menswear is to create clothing with the following characteristics: a sense of humor, lightness, charm, contemporary, good taste, and near weightless construction, with impeccable quality and colors that are rarely associated with men's fashion. These are the qualities she and her team instill in every Hermes menswear collection. If you have the opportunity to try on clothes from Hermes, do so. You'll find everything I've listed to be true. And bear in mind that I'm telling you to look, not go in and start buying. I don't even think most of us can afford a pen from Hermes, but nevertheless you can still look and take notes, because most of these looks are very cohesive and isn't doing too much, but at the same time doing it just enough. Bodhi, in all rights, Bodhi does deserve the attention it's been receiving the last few years. Good positive attention, I mean. And by now we should all know who Emily Adams is. Look, there isn't much to say. If you have a piece of clothing you got from your parents or your grandparents, or they wore something with a really unique style, then Bodhi is for you. I know all of us probably want one of these shirts or jackets. Just hide the invoice from your future girl, because bro, why must we hurt our hearts like this? Sometimes you can't have nice things in life. No peace at all. No Decept Sit Down is a South Korean brand. I know the name is French. Doesn't make sense to most, but let's take a look at what matters to clothes. The brand was founded in 2013 by Eun-hye Shin, a South Korean native. Small batch production with minimal and timeless classic styles. So the ease of wear is there, because I know some people don't want to think about outfits, but these are the looks you can expect, with a lot of them being in that category of a romantic man. So the pieces look soft, or as TikTok language goes, soft boy style. Like what is that even?
What the
Does that
hell
look
is
soft?
even
You
that?
know what? Forget
Get
it.
everybody
Martin
out of-
Rose. Look, I can't make a video without talking about the woman who had a huge part to play in what a lot of us wear, both at her namesake label and her work as a consultant in the industry. It would be criminal not to mention her work. Plus, how many of you remember this fleece? It's bringing back some memories, huh? Hey, you better not diss her, cause Kenny been wearing a lot of her stuff. I'm just saying, unless you want a song made about you, be my guest. A lot of her designs center around her cultural upbringing and the men in her culture, how they would dress, but also about growing up in London. But we aren't gonna get really deep into the specifics, at least not today. That's Ayo's video style, link below. Okay, now to the meat of this entire video. So why did we do this? The reason we listed all of those brands was to showcase something, that dressing up to a attract a woman, there isn't one way of doing it. It just really plays into your societal and cultural upbringing as to what women would find attractive. You also have to take into account what type of woman it is you're dating and what type of woman you're going to be meeting, right? Dressing up to attract women isn't universal. There is things that women do like that are somewhat universal, and that is just wearing trousers, wearing a shirt, and it doesn't really have to be fitted so it's overtly tight to the skin. Slimmer clothes look good on slimmer dudes. Wider fitting clothes will look good on athletic and muscular dudes, and so on. Just learn to dress for your body and learn to dress for your style, and you'll be okay. You don't have to do these convoluted things of jumping from trend to trend. It's okay to participate in trends. It does allow you to experience new things and find new things, but if it's the sake of dressing up to attract someone, you are going about this wrong, because it's impossible to dress for somebody else's attraction, right? Women have been excluded from designing men's clothing, so if you really want to know what they want you to wear, look at the female designers who design for men. When they design for men, they are legitimately just designing for men. Yes, there is a bias that comes into play with regards to making men feel attractive and making men feel good and making men feel participative in fashion, creating things that they would like and they would want to wear. Because if you're just creating things, I think there's this whole bad thing centered around the early 2000s where a lot of commercials that the only way for men to participate in something and to buy something was if there was a woman involved, which is a fallacy. If you want to dress well, because what happens when you get into the relationship? Are you just gonna stop dressing? So think about it. Take a look at these female designers, go support them, drop them a follow. You don't have to buy anything. Following somebody is for free. Just don't do it in public. That's creepy, and I'm not entertaining that. Anyways, my name is E, and this is Exposure. And remember, we don't gatekeep, like and sub, so you don't have to remember our long ass name. Drop a comment if you need any more advice. Peace.